Hey there, just a quick disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. These are just conspiracy theories, and honestly, they shouldn't be taken seriously. Other than that, just sit back and enjoy the video. So, you ever hear about a guy who was so dangerous to the establishment that they had to take him out? I mean, really think about that. A guy whose words, whose ideas were so potent that the powers that be couldn't let him keep talking. That man was William Cooper. This wasn't some random dude in a tinfoil hat. Cooper was a former United States Naval Intelligence officer. He had the clearances, he saw the documents, he was on the inside. He spent his life trying to warn us about what he saw and the things he talked about. Man, it's wild. It's the kind of stuff that keeps you up at night, questioning everything you thought you knew about how the world really works. He put it all down in his legendary 1991 book, Behold a Pale Horse. This thing became like the Bible of the underground, the counterculture. It's one of the most shoplifted books in America, which tells you something right there. People were desperate for this information. Cooper wasn't just connecting a few dots, he was revealing the entire hidden machinery, the deep state architecture that he claimed was secretly controlling the planet. He laid out the plans of secret societies, the manipulation of the public, the end game for humanity. He was screaming from the rooftops that we were all being played, that we were living in a carefully constructed reality designed to keep us enslaved. People called him crazy, they called him a conspiracy theorist, but the thing is, a lot of what he said started coming true. It's chilling. He was a lightning rod for controversy, but you can't deny the impact he had. He forced people to look behind the curtain, to question the official narrative, and to do their own research. He paid the ultimate price for it, but his warning echoes even louder today. So, what was so dangerous about what he was saying? Let's pull on that thread and see what happens. Here's what he revealed. Alright, so let's get right into the heavy stuff because Cooper started with something that sounds like pure science fiction. Initially, he came out with these insane claims that he saw top-secret documents detailing a deal the United States government, specifically a secret group called MJ-12, made with aliens. The story was that Eisenhower met with these beings, trading human subjects for advanced technology. You know, anti-gravity, beam weapons, all that wild stuff. He said the government was covering up crashed UFOs and alien bodies not because they were afraid of panic, but because they were hiding this horrifying pact they'd made. It was a story that hooked everybody. But then, something shifted. Cooper kept digging, and his perspective changed entirely. He came to believe the whole alien narrative was a psyop, a massive, brilliantly orchestrated deception. He warned that the alien threat was a fabrication by our own government. The plan, he said, was to eventually stage a fake alien invasion. Imagine that. Holographic ships in the sky, maybe some advanced but man-made crafts. The goal? To terrify the world's population into accepting a one-world government, a new world order, as their only salvation. He was saying the ultimate enemy wasn't from the stars, it was from right here on Earth, using the idea of aliens to unite us all under their total control. It's a crazy thought, man. So, if the aliens were a distraction, what was the real threat? Cooper said he found a document that laid it all out. It was supposedly discovered in 1986 in an IBM copier that had been purchased at a surplus sale. The document was titled, Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, and he claimed it was the elite secret manual for social engineering and control. It was a declaration of war, but a quiet one, waged against the American public with them being none the wiser. The manual described a new form of slavery where people are controlled not by chains but by debt and ignorance. It's absolutely chilling stuff. This document, according to Cooper, detailed how to use economic modeling, media manipulation, and the education system as silent weapons. It talked about keeping the public distracted with trivial entertainment and junk food while their freedoms were being systematically stripped away. The goal was to program people from birth to create a predictable, docile population that could be managed like a herd of cattle. It talked about creating economic shocks and controlling the flow of money to keep people in a constant state of struggle, too busy trying to survive to ever look up and see the bars of their cage. This wasn't about bombs and bullets, it was a psychological war for your mind. This idea of a psychological war leads directly to Cooper's next big warning. Mind control isn't just a theory, it's a documented, deployed weapon. He talked extensively about programs like MK Ultra, which we now know was a real illegal CIA program, where they experimented on people with drugs, hypnosis, and psychological torture to see if they could control the human mind. But Cooper said it went way beyond just a few secret labs. He believed the principles of MK Ultra were applied on a mass scale, using the media and public education as the delivery system for a kind of cultural brainwashing. He argued that the constant barrage of violence, sex, and crisis in the news and entertainment wasn't accidental, it was trauma-based mind control. The idea is to keep the public in a state of low-grade shock and fear, making them more suggestible and easier to manipulate. He saw the public schooling system as an indoctrination camp, designed not to teach kids how to think, but what to think. He claimed pop culture was engineered to lower our moral standards, break down the family unit, and create a population of isolated, confused individuals who look to the state for guidance. He was saying, look, they're not trying to win a debate with you, they're trying to bypass your critical thinking altogether. So who is they? Who's pulling the strings? For me, the answer was clear. A network of ancient secret societies. I went deep on this, man. I wasn't just talking about some vague cabal. I named names. The Illuminati, the Knights Templar, the Freemasons, the Skull and Bones, the Jesuits. I claimed these groups were the real power behind the thrones, the invisible government that chooses presidents, starts wars, and controls the global economy. I said that the history we learn in school is a lie, just a cover story to hide the real movers and shakers who operate from the shadows. I believe these societies were bound by secret oaths and esoteric knowledge passed down through generations. And I argued that their ultimate goal was Luciferian in nature, not necessarily devil worship with horns and a pitchfork, but a philosophical belief in Lucifer as the light bearer, the symbol of intellect and rebellion against God. I warned people to look at the symbols all around us, on our money, in corporate logos, in the architecture of Washington, D.C. I said, these weren't just decorations. They were the calling cards of a hidden power structure, a way for them to communicate their agenda right in front of our faces, confident that we'd never understand what we were seeing. According to Cooper, it's the creation of a new world order. This isn't the fuzzy, benevolent global community that politicians talk about. Cooper's version was a totalitarian nightmare, a one-world government where individual freedom is completely extinguished. It would be a global, technocratic dictatorship run by an unelected elite, where every aspect of your life, what you eat, where you go, what you think, is monitored and controlled. He saw this as the culmination of a plan centuries in the making. He warned that they would use a strategy of ordo ab chao, or order out of chaos. The plan was to create the problems, wars, pandemics, economic collapses, terrorist attacks, and then offer the solutions. And the solution would always be the same: more centralization, more surveillance, and less freedom for you. Each crisis would be an opportunity to chip away at national sovereignty and individual rights, pushing the world population step by step toward this global government. He said they would use fear as their primary tool, convincing people to willingly trade their liberty for the promise of security, until one day we wake up and find we have neither. This is where it gets really, really eerie. All of this stuff sounds like a crazy theory, right? Until the guy starts calling shots, and they happen. On June 28, 2001, on his radio show The Hour of the Time, William Cooper went on the air and told his listeners to expect a major false flag attack on American soil in the near future. He said it would be a massive event designed to galvanize the public, and then he named who they were going to blame. He said, and you can go find the recording, that they were going to blame Osama bin Laden. Less than 3 months later, the Twin Towers fell. The world changed forever. And just like Cooper predicted, Osama bin Laden was immediately named as the prime suspect. After 9/11, Cooper knew he was a marked man. He told his audience that the government was coming for him, that they were going to use a local dispute over taxes as a pretext to silence him. On November 5, 2001, sheriff's deputies raided his home in Eager, Arizona. There was a shootout and William Cooper was killed. The official story is that he fired first, but for millions of his followers, there's no question. William Cooper was assassinated because he knew too much, and he got too close to the truth. Even after his death, maybe especially after his death, William Cooper's influence just exploded. His book, Behold a Pale Horse, became an underground classic, A sort of red pill for an entire generation of people who felt that something was deeply wrong with the world. It's been called dangerous, it's been banned, it's been ridiculed by the mainstream media, but it's also been one of the most profoundly influential books of the last 50 years. It's a book that doesn't give you easy answers. It just shatters the reality you thought you lived in, and forces you to start asking your own questions. His legacy isn't about believing every single thing he ever said. In fact, Cooper himself wouldn't have wanted that. He was constantly evolving his own views as he got new information, like with the alien theory. His real message, the core of his entire life's work, was about empowerment through knowledge. It was a plea for people to wake up and take responsibility for their own minds. His final most important message is the one that everyone, regardless of what you believe, should take to heart. He said, read everything, listen to everyone, but believe nothing until you've researched it yourself. That's true power. So, what do you do with information like this? It's a lot to process, I get it. It's heavy. William Cooper's story is a rabbit hole that goes deeper than you can possibly imagine. Was he a prophet, a madman, or was he a patriot who saw the truth and tried to warn us before it was too late? Maybe he was a little bit of all three. The world he described is a dark and frightening place, run by shadowy forces with a sinister agenda. It's a world where nothing is as it seems, and where the greatest war is the one being fought for your own perception of reality. But the point of his work isn't to leave you feeling hopeless or paranoid. It's the opposite. It's a call to action. It's a challenge to stop passively accepting the information you're fed by the TV and the authorities. It's a call to become an active participant in your own understanding of the world. The story of William Cooper is a testament to the power of a single individual to challenge an empire, and a reminder of the price that is sometimes paid for speaking truth to power. His voice may have been silenced, but his questions hang in the air, more relevant today than ever before. Ultimately, it's not up to me or anyone else to tell you what to believe. That was Cooper's whole point. You have the tools, you have the ability to think for yourself. So use them, dig into it, question everything, especially the things you're told not to. Read Behold a Pale Horse for yourself. Listen to his old radio shows. Look at the evidence, look at the world around you, and decide for yourself. Because in the end, the only truth you can really rely on is the one you discover on your own. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you liked the video and enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe for weekly videos posted every Friday. Thanks for watching.